Run involving several cars ends with a pedestrian seriously hurt on Chicago's southwest side.
An 8-year-old boy has been shot to death inside an apartment building on the south side. A short time ago, we learned that child's name.
Plus, the rain is rolling in this morning. Tracy is tracking the timing on the waves of rain that we'll have on this Tuesday.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Terrell Brown. It's so good to be here. Right.
All right, and I'm Val Warner. Glad to have him back, but we are not necessarily. Well, you know what? I take that back because some folks do want the rain, right, Tracy?
Yes, there are some folks who have been saying it's dry, and you know what? It really has been quite dry. We are well below average, about 1.75 inches worth below average in the rainfall department for October officially. But today, we could even make up for all of that. We do have light rain that's going to be moving back into the area, and it's doing so right now. But I emphasize light. Later on today, I'm going to emphasize the potential for heavy rain, especially as we get into the afternoon hours. Our afternoon and evening rush is really going to have a big challenge with some very heavy rain and some winds picking up as well. Right now, 61 at O'Hare, 64 at Midway. We'll have the full forecast for you coming up, but Roz has had her hands full this morning. Roz?
You know, it's just been this steady stream of crashes, and the travel times, of course, are pretty high right now. They're 40 to 50 minutes on your inbound trip, most expressways between the tri-state and downtown. But we've got this rollover crash that's on the Peterson exit coming off the outbound side of the Edens, and that's where Chopper 7 is. That rollover car is at the top of this exit ramp, and we've got emergency crews there. IDOT is with it. They have closed that exit. It's the eastbound Peterson exit from the northbound Edens. It's not really causing a big problem on the Edens proper, just a little slow approaching the ramp, but they've got everything shut down there because they're going to need that heavy wrecker to upright that vehicle and get it out of there. No word of the extent of any injuries involved, and we do have lanes blocked on Peterson itself over the Edens. Traffic is getting through using at least one lane. Val and Terrell.
All right, Roz, thank you. And remember, you can stay ahead of the showers that are projected to come. Remember, you can always get up to the minute weather conditions in your neighborhood. Use your smartphone right now and hover over the camera over that QR code that you see on your screen. It's going to give you a link to our Doppler 7 Max radar.
Get back to the news here. This is breaking overnight. Chicago police are looking for a hit-and-run driver involved in this crash on Chicago's southwest side.
It happened around 10 last night at 46 and Ashland in the back of the yards neighborhood. The victim was rushed to Stroger Hospital. Diane Patthew is there now and joins us live with more. Diane.
Val and Terrell, that 63-year-old man is here at the hospital fighting for his life this morning. Chicago police tell us that crash happened last night near the 4600 block of South Ashland. The suspect, driving a white Mercedes-Benz, was heading north a little after 10 p.m. That driver first hit a parked car. That car slammed into the man who was standing next to the vehicle. The victim was badly hurt and brought here to Stroger Hospital in critical condition.
I was walking across the street and I seen the white Mercedes run through the light and hit the parked cars and knocked them to the wall.
The alleged hit-and-run driver then crashed into two other parked cars before coming to a complete stop. The driver then got out of the vehicle and took off on foot. Police confirmed for us this morning that no one is in custody as they continue their investigation. Val and Terrell, back to you.
All right, Diane, thank you. Now to a breaking news update. This morning, Chicago police are investigating a gun tragedy.
An 8-year-old boy was shot to death inside of an apartment building in the Douglas neighborhood. Jessica D'Onofrio was in the newsroom with more on that now, Jess.
Val and Terrell, the medical examiner, has just identified the boy as 8-year-old Jaden Hines. Meanwhile, police are trying to piece together what happened last night in the 3600 block of South Rhodes in the Douglas neighborhood. Police say Hines was inside an apartment with other people when shots were fired. The child was hit in the head and rushed to Comer Children's Hospital, where police say he was pronounced dead. Crisis responder Andrew Holmes spoke to the boy's family after relatives learned he didn't survive.
And the mother is cooperating, and the other people that was there are cooperating too. Like I say, this is a very close-knit family, very respectful.
Holmes says the family is distraught. Meanwhile, police say they believe the shooting may have been accidental, but they are not providing extra details. As of now, no one is in custody, and Area 1 detectives are investigating. Nearly 300 juveniles have been shot in Chicago this year. 39 fatally. Terrell.
Jessica, thank you. Chicago police are investigating a deadly shooting outside the Greyhound bus station in the West Loop. A Greyhound employee was killed. Shooting happened late yesterday morning near Harrison and Jefferson. Police say the victim had just gotten out of his car and was walking inside the terminal.
Right after he exited, he was walking towards the Greyhound station when the offender walked right towards him on foot.
I just saw him land on the ground. I just wanted to come in and check on the ticket, price of the ticket, and that was it.
Police say the two did not seem to have any kind of altercation before those shots were fired. The shooting shut down the terminal for hours. Police are still looking for that suspect.
A Kankakee High School teacher is out of a job this morning for allegedly using a racial slur against a student. But the family of that student wants to know why he wasn't fired sooner. The incident, which was caught on video, happened last Thursday during some kind of classroom conflict. Last night, the Kankakee School Board voted unanimously to fire the teacher identified as John Donovan. The student, Michael Nelson, says he's still upset about the incident.
It's really hard to describe. I just can't, I'm just mentally shocked.
He says he was called the N-word by the math teacher as he walked out of class following a verbal dispute. But the family says the teacher should have been removed from that classroom earlier. They say during another encounter last month, Donovan allegedly threw a book at the student.
This is battery. He attacked him, and the school did nothing. The school did nothing to protect him.
We've reached out to the teacher for comment, but have not heard back.
Some local Catholics held a prayer vigil last night outside a school. Cardinal Blaise Supich was hosting a fundraiser there. Members of the Spanish-Polish Rosary Group are fighting to prevent the Archdiocese from removing a statue from a church in Pilsen. The marble replica of Michelangelo's La Pieta is right now inside St. Adalbert's, which is closed. The Archdiocese is working with the city to secure permits to move the statue to a different church. Protesters want the statue to remain in the church to be reopened.
Today, the Aurora City Council is expected to vote on whether to relocate and expand the Hollywood Casino. The proposal would move the casino from its current downtown location to a spot closer to the Reagan Tollway. The new campus would include a 200-room hotel and a 10,000-square-foot event center.
The U.S. Justice Department has filed a response to a federal appeals court regarding a temporary block to the student loan debt forgiveness plan. The DOJ says Republican-led states who filed the suit leading to block failed to prove that they would be injured by the loan forgiveness plan. 22 million Americans have already applied for the plan, which cancels up to $10,000 in debt for those who qualify. A Republican response is expected a little later on today. Want to get to the urgent warning for parents. Children's hospitals are being overwhelmed from an increase in respiratory illnesses. Across the country, 75% of an estimated 40,000 pediatric beds are now filled. That's the highest it's been in 2 years. With a potentially tough flu season also on the way, doctors stress it's more important than ever to keep kids up to date on flu and COVID vaccines.
We're talking about COVID-19, influenza, and RSV, and these other viruses that are making children sick. And remember, a lot of children have not been in schools without masks for 2 years, so they don't have natural immunity.
Doctors say RSV is the leading cause of hospitalizations in all infants.
This morning, reaction is pouring in after the death of Leslie Jordan.
Yeah, the 67-year-old actor and comedian died in a car crash in Hollywood, possibly after a medical emergency. Here's ABC's Rhiannon Alley.
Aaron, this may come as a great shock to you, but I'm a homosexual.
Leslie Jordan may have been small in stature, but his comedy chops were larger than life. The 67-year-old actor was known for roles on Will and Grace and American Horror Story, but it was on social media in the early days of the pandemic that so many came to know Jordan's humor and heart.
Hello, my fellow hunka-downers. What are y'all doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Jordan posting twice a day for 80 days, lifting spirits in a troubling time. Jordan was born in 1955 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. At under 5 feet tall, he tried being a jockey in his 20s before pivoting to show business. He was cast in guest roles on Murphy Brown and Newhart, but his big break was playing Beverly Leslie in Will and Grace.
Well.
Co-star Megan Mullally calling him flawlessly funny, and Eric McCormick saying he was the funniest and flirtiest Southern gent I've ever known. Jordan was starring in Call Me Kat when he died.
Hey, leave Phil alone. Yeah, leave Phil alone. I have such a crush on him.
The show is now pausing production. Co-star Mayim Bialik recalling Jordan as tender, wise, naughty, and hilarious. Jordan passed away Monday in Los Angeles in a car accident. He once told Pride Source how he hoped to be remembered.
I think I want to be remembered just as like a Dolly Parton, that nobody had a bad word. You know, he was a nice guy. And the fact that I'm fairly talented and this and that, that's okay.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
He's going to be remembered just that way, too.
Exactly the way he said.
Yeah, no one, I can't find anybody that can
Has
say anything
bad about him. Yeah. Certainly going to be missed, and you said it before, just gone too soon and so sudden.
Right, and these untimely deaths just breaks your heart. Well, coming up at 7:30, we're going to actually take a look back at some of Leslie Jordan's memorable visits to Windy City Live, just on the other side of this wall right here.
I cannot wait to see that. Also on the way, vote 2022 in the race for Illinois Secretary of State. The top candidates talk about their plans to modernize the office. That's on the way.
But first, Tracy's got your AccuWeather forecast. She's tracking several inches of rain for today. Coming up next.
Well, here is what to expect today. It's going to be wet, day and night. Now, we're only just beginning with kind of a wave of some rain right now. It's not a soaker just yet. And the other thing today, we're going to have a big temperature range around the area today. Last to get in on the rain, probably those of you in Northwest Indiana. Heaviest rain with this all falls in the afternoon and evening. Prior to that, much of the rain will be lighter. Few storms possible. However, I'm not looking at this as a severe weather issue, although we may get some brief gusty winds. And the other thing that could become problematic, the leaves. They've been falling. The winds have aided in that, certainly, in recent days. And they can become, not one, just very slippery. So be careful if you're driving. You don't want to kind of slow down and brake quickly on a lot of leaves, but they can also clog drains. So this could result in some minor flood issues later on. Right now, light showers are starting to come back and head toward the city. As you can see, some of our southern suburbs and out to the west. So this is a beginning of what is yet to come. And I think once again, the heaviest rain is really going to be around for that afternoon and evening rush hour today. That's when it's really going to be pouring. And by the time we're done with a lot of this into tomorrow morning, some of us could even pick up over 2 inches of rain. So we will be watching out for all of this. What are you watching, Roz?
Well, it's interesting, Tracy, you're talking about the leaves. We've got this Metra delay. It's an outbound train on the UP Northwest 605, and it's running about 20 minutes behind schedule, and Metra's saying weather-related delays, and that very well could be all of these leaves falling on some of the rails, making it very slippery. So yeah, that could be a problem. Now, as far as the big picture, we're still looking at a lot of suburban crashes. These two are new in Roselle, Lake Street, and Gary Avenue. We have another one up in the Wakanda area at Barrington Road and Route 176. On the expressways, we are looking at travel times between 45 and 50, maybe even 55 minutes now on that inbound Kennedy, which is actually kind of typical for this time of the morning. What is not typical is this crash on the exit ramp, the eastbound Peterson exit coming off the outbound Edens. It's causing delays in both directions. Take a look at Chopper 7. Right now, they're over the scene. They were able to upright that vehicle. It was on the base of the ramp. And we are looking at that ramp still being closed. They're going to have to tow it out of there. And they did have an ambulance on the scene. It has already left. So that is good news as well. Peterson itself, no more lane blockage there. But the Edens, of course, is backed up approaching that ramp. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic after a quick timeout.
Today marks 2 weeks until Election Day, and for the first time in 24 years, Illinois voters will go to the polls without this man on the ballots, Jesse White, as a choice for Secretary of State. He is retiring when his historic sixth term ends. The top two candidates seeking to take over for White include Democrat Alexi Giannoulias and Republican Dan Brady. This morning, we hear from both candidates about their vision for the office. Here's Sarah Schulte.
Working the room at Manny's Deli, Republican Dan Brady knows his campaign to become Illinois' next Secretary of State is an uphill battle against his well-funded opponent and heavily endorsed Democrat Alexi Giannoulias. But the longtime Bloomington state rep is hoping his record of bipartisanship will attract independents and disgruntled Democrats.
I'm known for somebody who can work across the aisle. I'm known for somebody who's been in the minority since he's been there, but has been able to work with the majority party on a variety of fronts.
Good, how are you?
Giannoulias is trying to make a political comeback after losing the U.S. Senate race to Mark Kirk in 2010. 4 years earlier, Giannoulias was elected the nation's youngest state treasurer at the age of 30. During the Democratic primary for Secretary of State, the 46-year-old was not endorsed by Governor Pritzker, Senator Dick Durbin, or the man he hopes to replace, Jesse White.
I've never been part of the machine, ever.
Both Giannoulias and Brady say if elected, their number one priority is modernizing the office.
We've announced a Skip the Line program where people can actually schedule an appointment and get to the front of the line. We've looked at mobile driver's license, mobile IDs, the creation of an app.
How can we have a more pleasant experience, a more timely experience, everything down from making our website maybe more user-friendly to making sure that we can have remote services increased.
Brady also wants to temporarily cut license plate renewal fees, an idea Giannoulias calls fiscally irresponsible. With over 4,000 employees, the Illinois Secretary of State's office is the largest of its kind in the country. Besides driver services, there are 21 different divisions that fall under the control of the office, including overseeing all the state's public libraries. Giannoulias and Brady say all divisions need to be brought into the 21st century. Sarah Schulte, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
You can stay informed about the upcoming elections with the help of our voter guide. Get polling information and learn about the candidates on our website or on our news app. Still to stream this morning, the growing concerns about job losses with water levels continuing to drop on the Mississippi River.
Jobs along the Mississippi could be at risk if water levels continue to drop. Part of the riverbed has been dried up in northwestern Tennessee, and it's making it tough for barges and ships to get through. Some have even gotten stuck. Drought conditions are being felt all the way from Illinois down to Louisiana. Water levels are expected to drop even more in the coming weeks. The LaSalle Veterans Home has been hit with another COVID outbreak. As of this morning, 23 staff members and 42 residents in the state-run home have tested positive for the virus. No one has been hospitalized. Most residents are said to be experiencing cold-like symptoms. It's the same veterans home where 36 residents died during an outbreak back in 2020.
Closing arguments are set to begin today in the deadly Waukesha Holiday Parade trial. Defendant Darrell Brooks is representing himself. He's charged with driving an SUV through last year's parade, killing 6 people and injuring several more.
An update on the new Guaranteed Income Pilot program in Cook County. Some residents will get monthly payments of $500 for the next 2 years. There are about 3,000 openings. Cook County says more than 233,000 people have applied. The median income of those applicants is $15,000. The median age is 39. 70% of people who applied are women. 62% are employed. Sports memorabilia items from Mike Ditka's former Chicago restaurant were sold at auction. The jersey and sweater that were seen when Ditka's number 89 was retired at Soldier Field brought in the most money, $39,000 yesterday. Multiple game balls presented to Ditka over his long career sold for thousands of dollars. His 1961 Rookie of the Year trophy went for $36,000. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when you want to say something, but you're like,
No, I'm just wondering, why are they auctioning it off? Like we didn't say necessarily where.
What it was going to go to.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, that's a good question. And and the man's still around, so.
Right, right. That part.
Right.
So you know that journalist in me was kind of wheels were turning. Anyway, right now we are going to take a quick break right here. We're going to join our Good Morning America viewers.
Yep, Tanya Babbage will have a news update. You'll see that here on TV in just a bit.
And then when we come back, the Bears erase a 3-game losing streak in an upset win over the Patriots.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning at 7:23. I'm Tanya Babbage. A 63-year-old man is fighting for his life after being badly injured in a hit and run on Chicago's southwest side. Police tells us this happened around 10 o'clock last night near 46th and Ashland in back of the yards. A driver in a white Mercedes-Benz who was heading north first hit a parked car. That car then slammed into the man who was standing next to the vehicle. He was taken to Stroger Hospital in critical condition. The driver crashed into 2 other parked cars before coming to a complete stop and then running away. Let's get a check of the ABC7 AccuWeather forecast. Now here's meteorologist Tracy Butler.
Hi there, Tanya. Good morning. Well, primarily what we have had here this morning has been light rain in the area, but it is going to pick up in intensity as we go through the afternoon. So even here in the city, some showers will come back. Again, as I emphasize, much of it has been fairly light so far. But the heavier rain is going to pick up as we go through the afternoon, and some downpours can be expected during the afternoon and evening commute. All total, some of us could be looking at 1 to 2, maybe even more than 2 inches of rain by the time this is all done tomorrow morning. Temperatures right around 60 right now. We take a break, Roz, after this.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge and put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Welcome back, everybody. We're looking at travel times anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour 5. That would, of course, be on the inbound Kennedy. And speaking of things up north, they finally opened that ramp. We had a rollover crash that was blocking the eastbound Peterson exit from the outbound side of the Edens, but they've got that all clear and open. Now, we've got a new crash, 2 semis involved. It's westbound on I-80 at Harlem. Big delays that extend back before the tri-state area. And then we've got a suburban crash causing some delays. That is going to be in Countryside at Joliet Road.
Time now, 7:27. Welcome back, everybody. We are in store for a soggy Tuesday, so Tracy's going to fill us in on the timing of when this rain is going to come today.
Yep. All right, so the Bears, we can celebrate this, though, on this rainy day. They're winners. And they're winning this morning.
Yes, they are. Chicago upset the New England Patriots on Monday Night Football at that. The team snaps a 3-game losing streak and may have flipped the script on the still young season. The Bears improved to 3-4 on the season. They're in second place in the NFC North. And I tried to hang on as much as I could. I fell asleep. When did you fall? I fell asleep about 10 seconds left in the second quarter.
This is gonna sound weird.
You watched the whole thing?
No, I didn't. No, God, no. I
listening.
feel like sometimes I'm the bad luck charm.
Oh, so you don't watch it
So
all?
I don't watch because I'm like, maybe if they're winning and I turn it off, they're gonna keep winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the jinx, huh?
I'm the jinx. Yeah.
I don't think it's that. I just think that they needed that time off and they put something. And sometimes it just takes a little time. But
I sure hope you're right.
I will say, Justin Fields threw an interception. I think that was the end of the first quarter, the beginning of the second, and I got a little nervous. So then I nodded off. And then I woke up to the good news.
You're like, oh.
Yes. I was like, yes.
People are already like, Super Bowl? I've heard other people go, oh, this is the big turnaround? Oh, this is it? They're gonna win. And I'm like, I just want them to get through the Cowboys, all right.
Right.
It's Sunday. You know?
Yeah, I heard what you were saying about how Cowboys fans, I'm with you on that.
They are some kind of cocky.
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys?
Well, see, I love a good underdog story. So if we can go there, the problem is we got to go there and do it.
Oh, we can though.
But we can, yeah. We did it last night.
That's right.
And they counted us out for last night. So it's not impossible. Anything's possible, including this. The Powerball jackpot. It's $680 million, and guess what? It's still growing.
No single ticket won last night's drawing for $625 million. We're going to post the winning numbers on our website, ABC7Chicago.com. The next drawing, by the way, is coming up on Wednesday night.
Oh.
The things I could do.
know.
And the thing, they're not even crazy things. It's like, I just want to pay off my mortgage.
Right? Well, you wouldn't want to get a new house too, right? Well, maybe pay off that mortgage with mama and that one.
But
get a
there
new
you
house.
go, right. Rent that one and then, yeah. But I ain't trying to go and buy Bugattis or, popping bottles and all that.
No?
I'm good with
I want to pop some bottles. I don't know the Bugatti. I'm going to pop some bottles, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make it rain.
We're going to make it rain. Right.
I want one of those make it rain with real money.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just talking smack.
But the thing about making it rain is that money is like in corners. I'd make it rain and then I'd be like,
You'd be down there coming up. Right, you would just do it in your room by yourself just for the fun of it.
Right.
Yeah, but not, we're not going to throw away no money. We're not even $680 million. We're not even going to throw that away. I'm like you. Mm-hmm. Pay off some bills. I would make sure that all the kids in my family, or in my village, have college paid for.
There you go.
Like, to me, that's such a big burden that, kids and families bear. So that's like my number one, good thing I want to do. I want to make sure people get to college for free.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I do want to shop.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to travel.
That's what I was going to say, too. I want to go somewhere.
Yeah, there's so much.
Boy.
But guess what? I got to play. I don't play, so I can be doing all this talking and I don't even play to win.
Right.
All right. Well, coming up this morning, we're going to be remembering Leslie Jordan, a look at the life of actor and comedian who died Monday in a crash. We're going to be back. Look back at some of the special interviews he did.
And later on this morning, you have a chance to name one of Chicago's newest residents. There she is right there. It's on the way.
What is it?
You're watching ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
Let's take a quick look at some of the stories that we'll be watching for you today. Closing arguments are set to begin today in the deadly Waukesha Holiday Parade trial. Defendant Darrell Brooks is representing himself. He's charged with driving an SUV through last year's parade, killing 6 people and injuring several more.
The Aurora City Council meets tonight on the proposed relocation of the Hollywood Casino. The proposal calls for the casino to move from its current location, it's downtown on the Fox River, to a spot that's closer to the Reagan Tollway. The new casino campus would also include a 200-room hotel and a 10,000-square-foot event center. That vote is scheduled for 6 o'clock tonight in Aurora.
And hundreds of Chicago high school students could find out where they'll be attending college. 125 colleges from around the country will be on hand at Navy Pier for today's Chicago Scholars event. It all happens today from 8:30 to 6:30 at Navy Pier.
What a cool event.
Yeah, good luck to them. All right, good morning to you, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Val Warner.
And I'm Terrell Brown over here on the couch this morning. From the couch, let's go outside and see what's going on. And I mean, you can pretty much sum it up in one word today. And that's
soggy.
Ooh, I wasn't going to say that one, but that's a good one. I was just going to say wet.
Oh.
Basic, as usual.
Oh, cut it out.
Hey, Tracy.
Far from.
Both work. Both work. Yes. You know, as many adjectives as we can fit in to describe today. Windy at times will be another one. So right now we're just getting primarily light showers in the area. Some moving back into the city, back toward Chicago Heights, as you can see. But it's the afternoon hours that are going to bring us more in the way of heavier rain. So the afternoon and evening commute will have a lot more rain to endure. And like I said, some of this could be really coming down at a very heavy clip. In Northwest Indiana, you probably won't really start to get in on the rain, and certainly not the heavy rain, until you get well into the afternoon. Roz?
We are looking at some pretty high travel times right now. It's just so crowded out there. Anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour 15 on the inbound Kennedy. Your best trip, though, is about 45 on the inbound Ike, but everything in between. And then we've got crashes out there. This one is causing a pretty big delay. It's westbound I-80 at Harlem. It involves 2 semis. Gapers on the eastbound side. The westbound delays begin before I-57. And we also have delays off the expressways. This crash is new. It's in Glendale Heights. It's on Glen Ellen Road, just north of North Avenue. And we had a crash that is still causing delays up in Wakanda at Barrington Road and Route 176. That eastbound, look at this, eastbound 176 is backed up from Rand Road. So for those of you streaming us on the bus or the train and you're just moving along fine and laughing at all those folks out there on the roads, yeah, it's pretty bad out there. Val and Terrell, back to you.
Yeah, that's when it's nice to take the train every once in a while. Get to where you're going a little faster.
Sure.
Roz, we'll see you soon. Thank you. Let's get to what we're talking about today. You can see the picture right here. Remembering Leslie Jordan this morning.
Yeah, he died after a crash yesterday into the side of a building on Monday in Hollywood. It's not clear if he died as a result of the crash or had some sort of medical emergency just before he crashed. But Jordan was 67 years old. He was on Windy City Live back in 2019. Wow, right before the pandemic, too. And we spoke and laughed and just had a great time. Take a look.
Now when did you know you wanted to go into show business?
Well, actually, people think, when I was little or something, I had no interest,
Yeah.
I learned to be funny during dodgeball.
Right. And I heard that you really learned to be funny because you wanted to, make the bullies laugh.
At bay. Spare the queer, they try to hit me with that ball. I got to be funny. But I was 27 years old, and I wanted to be a journalist, and I had exercised racehorses for years. I've had a long, long go. But I went back to school, and everybody said, take that intro to theater class. That'll get your arts elective out of the way. And we started doing improvisations, and I ran to the head of the department, and I told him I wanted to be an actor. He said, well, first of all, learn how to pronounce what your degree's going to be in. Because I was saying theater. I want to be in the theater. I want to be. He said, it's theater. I said, that's what I said. I want to be in the theater.
Well, obviously it all worked out. You won an Emmy on Will and Grace, a fantastic role. How is it playing the nemesis?
I want to keep watching.
I know. Do we have to cut it off? Is there more?
Congratulations on that.
No.
All right, Leslie, the internet says that you are 4'11". For the record,
4'11".
that's correct.
Yes. This is a large from Brooks Brothers Children.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. And it's half what you'd pay.
Who's taller, you or Danny DeVito?
I'm much taller than Danny. He's little. He's real little.
What is the best and worst thing about being 4'11"?
The worst thing is people lean on me.
Oh,
people
yeah.
want to lean on me all the time.
Yeah.
They say cute. They want to be cute. The best thing is, I think, is I can get away with so much. You're just little. You can just, disappear.
True, you threw out the first pitch for the Cubs.
I did. I'd never held a baseball in my life.
In your life?
Ever. I hired a coach. My coach told me all about how, boom, boom, boom. And the catcher for the Washington Nationals came out and he goes, ouch. Dude. They said, you did better than Hush. Oh, God. Snoop Daddy. I almost said Hush Daddy.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. They said, you did better than Snoop Dogg. I said, I'm not stoned.
When's the last time you were in a fist fight?
When? A fist
fight? Gary Busey on Celebrity Big Brother.
No, wipe that smirk off your face.
Remember your thing.
You're very funny.
Remember your thing. Come on,
you're out.
You almost kicked his.
No, I spit on him because he did number 2 on the top of the plate. He's nasty.
Oh, gosh.
No.
Doritos commercial. You're naked and you seem pretty comfortable.
Oh, wait, can we let this play?
How naked were you really?
Naked.
All the way naked?
Yes. I have no shame. That's what my mother said.
American Horror Story. You worked with Lady Gaga.
She's a good girl.
All right.
She's nuts. The gate's down. The lights are flashing. Honey, the train's not coming.
If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who is it?
Probably Dolly Parton.
Why?
I don't know. I just always... I'd be the ruler of the world. I'd be the ruler. My brain and those, I'd be the ruler of the world.
So you didn't get away with that.
Boom!
Your character on Will and Grace, Beverly Leslie, you won an Emmy for that role.
Yes, sir.
Where do you keep it?
In my living room, and she has chicken McNuggets on her wings. It's a long story, just in case. I'd have something to eat, just in case.
Who would you pick to play you in a movie?
Danny DeVito. On an apple box, or maybe...
They could do anything in Hollywood. If you could break any law and not get in trouble.
I wish I could drink again. I'm sober for 22 years.
Congratulations.
Lord, I'd love a cocktail. But then it would all go in the so
You made appearances on Star Trek Voyager, true?
I was a Ferengi. They did not know that I had a southern accent. The director said, this ain't Deep South 9.
And just how we are laughing now, can you imagine right next to where Roz was sitting, he would sit there and he could tell story after story after story.
It just keeps going.
And you would just be like, tell me more. And then his delivery.
Yeah.
Just charming.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about his mama. Look how, he was so little and happy.
Ryan picked him up.
Well, this was the time he came for our holiday show. We used to do the big old holiday shows.
Yeah.
And we like to have, celebrities and people here in the building that have read to the kids. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and he agreed to read in that beautiful voice of his.
Gosh, man, he's so funny. Just watching him during the other thing is we could just watch that whole thing. I mean, he's just so good, and I don't know. You watch him, you feel connected, you're comfortable. He's got all of those things that made him what he was in Hollywood. And he talked about that, right?
He did, and he's a great. Gosh, it's hard to believe I got to talk about him in past tense now. He was a great follow on Instagram. Hilarious, and I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna be there. If you're not, he started off with like 60 or 80,000 followers in the pandemic, and went as high as almost 6 million followers.
Oh, wow!
Because his content was hilarious,
yeah.
And I would tell Ryan all the time, I was like, "Did you see Leslie's latest post? If you just needed a pick me up or just wanted to smile, beginning of the pandemic was rough, and you just needed a laugh, he was the guy to go to for something that was bound to just be like, how did he think of that?"
Wow.
Oh, Raj, Tracy?
It's such a loss.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to believe.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about it earlier, something that happens that suddenly and unexpected. You're just kind of in shock.
Right.
I just don't even want to say anything. I want to watch more of
That's
them.
what I was saying.
I'm so glad we played through as much of that as we did, and I'm sure there's a lot more that we can hear too.
I don't know. You know, I sent Tracy a text about gone here today and gone tomorrow. And I'm like, privately, you know, not on the air, but I've talked to you guys about, you know, what do you want people to remember you as? And the fact that he was able to say that earlier, we talked about how he wanted to be remembered. And he's going to be remembered the exact way that he
said. Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
And here we go. Here is a wave of rain that is moving into the Chicago area this morning, including right here in the city. Now off to the southern suburbs we go. Chicago Heights down through Monee. You're getting in on that rain as well. This isn't the heaviest stuff, however. I really do think that we will get that ramping up as we get into the afternoon, just in time for that afternoon evening rush. At times we could get some brief gusty winds too. As for any thunderstorms, I don't expect any severe weather today, but I do expect some very heavy rain and maybe just a couple rumbles of thunder. In northwest Indiana, most likely you're last to get in on the heavy rain today. Right now, a range of temperatures across the area. And as we see that rain settling in, you'll notice the temperatures kind of settling down and right around 60 and upper 50s as we go through much of the day today. Let's check in with Roz, see how this rain could be impacting things.
No, it's definitely impacting things in northwest Indiana as well. Now we've got our first big crash there. It's westbound 8094 at Calumet Avenue, and those delays begin, well, about 3 miles back. So it's pretty solid, that lane blockage. Here's the snapshot from the INDOT website, so you can see we've got the lane blockage going on there. And as far as the Illinois side of things, well, yes, we've got travel times anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour 20 heading in on the Kennedy from O'Hare to downtown. We're also seeing delays on the tri-state northbound going into the work zone around LaGrange, also northbound in that O'Hare corridor. It's kind of typical for this time in the morning, but just heavier than normal traffic. We've got this crash we've been talking about, 2 semis tangled up westbound I-80 near Harlem. So the westbound delay goes all the way back beyond I-57. And now we have an eastbound Gapers delay that extends back to about LaGrange Road. And we've got one suburban crash, pretty severe one in Lake in the Hills. It's on westbound Algonquin Road at Lakewood Road. Terrell and Val, back to you.
All right, Roz, thank you. Happening on Thursday, Cooking Up a Cure returns to Chicago. The 14th annual event raises money to fight scleroderma. Cletus Friedman is here with us now to talk all about it, and he's not only a chef, but he is actually one of the event's organizers. So good morning to you, Cletus. Glad to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's hard to follow Leslie Jordan, but I'm going to do my best.
I know. We are all feeling his loss this morning, but this is such a great cause. And many people actually might not have even heard about scleroderma. So the late Bob Saget was a tireless advocate for the Scleroderma Research Foundation. So tell folks a little bit more about what exactly is scleroderma.
Scleroderma is actually an autoimmune disease. It's
defined as a shrinking of the skin that affects the outer skin. Also, it can affect internal organs. It's fighting itself. And it's what you're saying, the awareness has really grown over the past, I'd say, 10 years. So that's exactly what we're doing, is we're bringing awareness and raising money as well.
And what's your connection to cooking up a cure for scleroderma?
In 1992, I lost my father to the disease. He actually had scleroderma in his lung, and he died 30 years ago. And 14 years ago, I went to the foundation and I wanted to do a fundraiser. And I thought, why not bring people together to eat and drink? The more they drink, the more they want to spend. Typically how it goes. So this is our 14th year doing Cooking Up a Cure.
Yeah, you know what? You said it right there. The more they eat, and especially the more they drink, the more they want to open up those pockets and give, because the research is so important. So tell us, fast forward to Thursday, tell us a little about the fundraiser.
So Thursday, we are doing it at the beautiful venue, Theater on the Lake, right on the lakefront at Fullerton. We have live music by the Bottle Tops. We have all kinds of great chefs. We have beer, we have wine, we have cocktails. We have an incredible silent auction with whiskey tastings and chef dinners, Blackhawks tickets, all kinds of wine and champagne. Really, really great things to get you down. Consider it a night out, right? Come out, eat, drink, maybe meet some new people, listen to live music, but also we're here to raise money for scleroderma.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great event. It sure has the makings of it and the looks of it based on the video and the pictures that we're seeing on our screen. So are you cooking up something really nice, Cletus?
I'm just cooking up the event.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else around me, it's going to be great. You know, for the past 2 years, we've been doing it just like this. When the pandemic hit, there was something great about doing this online and having people showcase what they're doing, but we're back in person, which is the greatest thing. So if you haven't been to an event for a while, come on down and do something in person for once. Get out of the house.
Exactly. Back in person again, and also for a great cause. Chef Cletus Friedman, thank you so much for waking up with us this morning and sharing.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All the best on Thursday's Cooking Up a Cure fundraising event. Coming up after this show, we're actually going to post this interview and more information on Cooking Up a Cure for scleroderma on ABC7Chicago.com. In the meantime, here's one look at the details for the all-star culinary fundraising event. We will be right back after a few messages. A country songbird has her last dance in the ballroom.
Yeah, a big voice stole the spotlight with all the couples on Dancing with the Stars performing to his music. Talking about Michael Bublé night. Judge too. Jesse James Decker got one of the two lowest scores of the night. She and Alan ended up being kicked off the show.
Oh, next week it's Halloween night. Dancing with the Stars streams on Disney Plus, and if you miss it, we will be recapping all of the action on the dancing floor next Tuesday morning at 7. More news coming your way in 90 seconds. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Well, here it is, the rain, and it is going to be with us off and on through the morning, and then it's really going to be on during the afternoon. So if you're in Hammond, you're seeing that rain. Whiting, Indiana, St. John, much of what you're seeing in Northwest Indiana is light. You really don't get into that heavier rain until later in the afternoon there. But the rain is going to become widespread and intensify as we go through the day today. And the winds are going to pick up a little bit at times too. Terrell and Val.
All righty, Tracy, appreciate it. Yeah, I got a wet day coming up. All right, before we leave you, the Shed Aquarium needs help naming one of 2 girl otters that arrived in Chicago from California. The animal care team will name the other otter. The 9-month-old otters will join other rescued otters at the Abbott Oceanarium. You can vote for your favorite name on the aquarium's website through next Monday. The 3 options are Jade, Sunny, and Willow.
No, none of those. Lixie and Pixie.
Ooh, oh.
Just came to me. It just came. They look like a Lixie and a Pixie.
I was thinking Keisha and Tisha, but you know. No, that's not going to happen.
Lixie and Pixie.
I like that, though.
Let's submit it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching Eyewitness News at 7 a.m.
Tanya Babbage is going to have a news update. Tracy and Roswell have weather and traffic during GMA. You'll see that all right here. It's coming up in just a moment. Remember, everyone here at ABC7, have a great day, everybody.
We'll see you again tomorrow morning at 7.
This has been Eyewitness News, streaming at 7. Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning at 7:56. In the last hour, we have learned the name of an 8-year-old boy who was shot and killed on Chicago's South Side last night. The medical examiner has identified him as Jaden Hines. The shooting happened in the 3600 block of South Rhodes in the Douglas neighborhood. Police say the boy was inside an apartment with other people when shots were fired. Hines was hit in the head and was rushed to Comer Children's Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police believe the shooting may have been accidental. We'll check on weather and traffic for you up next.